This would be a good time to ingest some extra caffeine. Late night adventures on the gridiron, and we all know anything can happen when you kick off after dark. Welcome to Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium, home to the East Carolina Pirates. As we'll see a squad from the Pac-12, the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, taking on a team that ranks in the top 5 in this conference, the East Carolina Pirates. For EA Sports, I'm Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, and David Pollack with me. Guys, can't wait to get this started. The Chanticleers will kick it away to start. On the run from inside his own 5. Across the 25 to the 26 before going out of bounds, and that's where the offense will go to work.
Let's go get him first play. Let's see what he's rocking with.
Out of the gun, the inside.
Let's go get him first play.
And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
But he said he had to get out the nerves, had to go to run up the top.
There's just nowhere to go for the ball carrier inside. He tried to bounce it to the outside. That linebacker way too fast. He met him there and forced the TFL.
Back pass, it's Grove. And the pressure gets there. And down he goes at the 18. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, a check down would be the last resort. With the catch, it's Bender. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36. So, Jesse, they're able to connect on the crossing route against the zone. You run that pattern against that coverage. What do you have to keep in mind?
Well, the receiver needs to know where the soft spot is in the defense so he can gear himself down. And the quarterback, Reese, has to play.
Oh, he's got some space.
I ain't never seen nobody run that bad of an angle before. He was 14 yards ahead of him and ran to his right.
Can take the field on the first series of the game and create a little bit of momentum.
Shit, so weak. 3rd and 18, I get stuck on the field line. Fucking blue.
Early in this game, you know that's got the sidelines all juiced up.
And the extra point makes it 7-0. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And he finished with a 64-yard sprint to the house. He'll bring it out. It's Graves. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13.
That offense just hit the field.
Wasting no time throwing on this drive. Just missed on the connection.
Man, got something for that.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was and that's why that one fell incomplete.
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd downs. Now this offense tries to figure out a way to move the chains after the 2nd down misfire.
Oh, he fucking choked the throw. I'm going to eat that shit up tonight.
The pass falls incomplete.
It's so nice when you know it's 3rd and long, you know a pass is coming, you worked on it all week, get your feet
First seen the speed difference. He's going to sit man all night. He's quite literally fucked.
Nice execution by this defense.
This team is dog shit, so.
Got a few blocks, made a couple of moves, and a good return on that one before he's pushed out of bounds. East Carolina has it back, and the Purple Pirate offense will go to work. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. Got it.
I know you lying like a motherfucker, cuz.
Finally get him stopped, but it's a big throw and catch, and he's down to the 5.
And the quarterback quarterback knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football, had time, spins the ball deep. Nice job by this offense, understanding what the defense is giving them and creating the explosive play.
To the air, it's Grove. Looking to the end zone.
Hey, son, come
and
on.
he can't find his man as he was trying to pay off this red zone opportunity.
Well, that last incompletion is a good example of why your timing has to be so good as a quarterback, because the windows, they open and they close so quickly in this part of the field.
Back to pass. Fires into the end zone. That one was way too far for anybody to catch, except the ticket holders.
Well, the defense is making some big plays here right up against their own goal line. They forced 2 straight incompletions, now setting up 3rd down. You're expecting pass again. Is this a situation where they're going to want to blitz, or do they stay back, play zone, and try to break
Holding
the ball?
on the offense. Take him back.
Touchdown. It is also a play in which there is a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is. Cutting it close now with 3rd and goal upcoming. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. Got it in the middle. It's back.
Wow, dude.
Touchdown.
I'm getting worried right now.
A great catch and run for 6. Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. They score for the big fella here. Why are tight ends so effective in the red zone?
Well, these aren't the guys that are going to burn by you and go for 70 most of the time, but when you can use their big-bodied frames, threaten them to run the football and be a blocker in the running game, and now you slip them in the secondary, make that big play.
Ooh, this fucking bitch, bro.
Coastal Carolina takes over, and here comes the offense. They haven't exactly burst out of the starting blocks, and they need to get something together with this possession. Shoots it to the left. And they couldn't make the connection on.
Let me go look at this page, because if he's been in the depth chart, why he's doing it. They ain't even that fucking fast.
Shot.
Obviously not the start this quarterback was hoping for, guys. He's now 0 for 4 to start the game throwing it. He just can't seem to find a rhythm. He's not finding his receivers. I'm even wondering if he's seeing the field that well at all, but no surprise. When you start the game 0 for 4 at QB, he's got no points on offense.
Out of the gun, they
The
give
fuck
to the
was
back.
that?
And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. Man, what a spectacular play by that defensive end to come up with the tackle there.
And you see those guys get off the football so fast. Most of these guys are 250 to 275 pounds, but they get off the ball fast, low. And the offensive linemen, they have no chance.
Breaks into the open.
Yeah. Shut up, bitch.
Across the 50-yard line on
Get out of
the
that man
huge
shit. I'm
pickup,
gonna
and
get
he's out
nasty
of
with
bounds
it.
at the 45.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
Get a fucking...
And he's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage by the big defensive tackle.
Well, that guy is so quick coming out of his stance. Did you see how fast he got to the ball carrier to get that tackle for loss? Wow.
Looking for a man, it's Hawkins. Throws to the tight end. Makes a connection.
I don't have to get on him.
He's all the way
I'm
down
not
to
to
the
work this
27-yard
minute.
line, and they are threatening.
Important in the passing game that it's not just receivers doing all the work. You got to get running backs involved. You got to get your big fellas. You got to get the tight ends going too.
And the shot to clear has had this offense rolling. Nice pickup on the ground there, and they'll move the sticks with the first down.
Well, this offense didn't get off to the start they wanted, going 3 and out of the gate. But on the second drive, they're doing much better. They're finding a rhythm, and I think a big part of that is establishing the running game. And really nice job on that last one, picking up the first down.
And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
Gives it on the option. He's brought down at the 7-yard line, and they are threatening to take it in.
Treat it like a pocket.
Well, the offense didn't have the result they wanted on that first drive, having to punt, but they're having a lot more success here in the second drive. They're having some balance, and they're getting a rhythm. I think a big part of that is their ability to run the football. Very, very important to them, and doing a nice job on that last play, picking up the first down.
He didn't get much done on that run. He'll fight his way out and maybe pick up a yard now.
And listen, it's tough. It's a tough proposition. This is a top 10 defense against the run. You know they're physical. You know who they are. But you're not going to bat an eye. And you're going to challenge your guys, especially in the red zone, to be more physical, to be able to continue to run the football against a really good defense.
They'll go to work in the air on second down.
The fuck is 4? 4 the fucking
end zone right there.
It's hard in this area throwing over this big defensive line. They've got long arms. You saw it right there, knocking that ball down on second down.
They played keep away with the football, but if this defense can make one more stop on 3rd and goal, they might force a field goal attempt.
Field goal attempt. He gonna hit that route. Oh, nice.
On the board.
And I love finding the big fella down in the red zone, 3rd and goal. You got
the fake, and he wants to throw.
I'm gonna get toxic in here.
He'll run into the end zone for the 2-point conversion, and the trickery pays off. Looks like he's going to bring it out. He stopped at the 23, a couple yards short of where he would have been with a touchback. Opening play of this drive will come from their own 23. Takes the handoff. It's Castro.
Yeah.
Into a massive giant run. We're calling a 1-yard gain to the 24.
Run game is good. Balance is good. Now, listen, if the run game isn't good, then you got to pass the football a little bit more. But sometimes you got to keep them honest, take them chunk by chunk.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. It's Grove. Got rid of it in a hurry, but he couldn't find his man.
It's always the back door.
Well, the defense watched film last week. They saw this running back catch multiple passes, and that hasn't been the case today. They are clamping down on him, always aware of him, especially in the passing game, and so far they've taken him away.
It'll be 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Throwing right.
Yes.
And the misconnection on 3rd down.
You know, it's funny. That's probably the most discombobulated the offense has looked so far in this game, right? After watching that incompletion there on 3rd down, they were just up and down the field earlier. Tremendous rhythm, tremendous balance. Everything their play caller was dialing up was working, lighting up the scoreboard. And all of a sudden on this last drive, just not able to piece it together. They've got to be able to turn the page and get back to how they looked earlier in the game.
They flipped into the field, and we're ready to play.
Coastal Carolina, 8.
So they'll go back to work after changing into the field. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Looking to the big tight end. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on 1st down. 2nd down coming.
I know one of the things this defense really prides themselves on is being physical. And early in this game, putting a big hit on a guy that's already had a couple catches in this game, that's a good omen for the defense.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. Looking to throw, it's Hawkins. Fires to the right. Complete downfield. Turning it on. He's showing it all, the juice, the jets, the moves, and he's got it down to the 16-yard line. That big play has them in business. 1st and 10 inside the 20.
I know it's early in the game, but defensively after that play, you know you have to tackle the catch. When this guy gets the ball in his hands, he is so dangerous after the fact. So it's okay for him to make catches. You just got to get him to the ground quickly.
Going to work in the red zone, they can't pick up the 1st down without getting it into the end zone. To the air on 2nd down. Punts it out of the air. They've got it down to the 3-yard line. Really well done on that throw and catch. The shot that clears want to crank the tempo. They'll try to get it in with the run.
Let's see if this offense can answer the bell. Their coaches challenged them all week long. When they got down to the red zone, we've got to be able to run the football because we're going up against a top 10 Russian defense. Let's see if they can step up here and get it done.
They've moved it forward to the 2. Now it's 2nd and goal. Tries again to get it in. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
It's looking like they're going to have to try to throw this one into the end zone here on 3rd down, David. Quarterback's got to be careful. Can't get greedy because you know these windows, they close fast.
Extremely tight windows. Find your big body guys that you know can win in contested situations here on 3rd down.
The play action fake. Looking for the score.
Come on, Ema. Come on, him, go.
Fired in from the red zone for the score.
Ricky Gordon's about to have a fucking generational type game.
It's 3rd and goal. You got the option. You can run the football.
I'll take a lead, boss. I'll take the lead.
I love it down here because he can act like he's blocking, slip out, and get open. And then he's got that big body. You just throw it to him, and he does the rest.
From inside his own 10, he'll try to help out their field position. And he'll be brought down after a solid effort on that return. East Carolina sending the offense back to work. They really didn't move the ball at all the last time they had it, hoping for better fortune this time around. Quarterback on the move, still looking. Grabbed in the middle, it's Bender. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
You know, I know it seems like an easy pitch and catch, but for the tight end there, that route potentially changes if it's man coverage. So good job by him knowing it's zone. I'm just going to sit down. This is basically like a check down, right? Let's just take the easy pitch and catch and keep this drive going.
And now on 2nd down for this offense. He wants to change this route. Catch in the middle, it's Bender. Makes the stop at the 49, but not before he gets in plus territory, gets 15 and a 1st down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. To throw, it's Rowe. Throws for the tight end.
Thank you. Thank you.
Intercepted, big play, stops the drive. Not a lot of room on the return, but he'd already gotten the most important thing, the ball, and they have it at the 46. Coastal Carolina has it. The Chanticleer offense headed back to the field. They start the last drive in the end zone. They'll try to follow suit here. They pick up half of it. It'll be 2nd and 5.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
Halfway there on 1st down, it's 2nd and 5. They'll run it out of the shotgun. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough. But how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
Makes the grab along the sidelines, and they get enough for the 1st down.
Just beautiful, and that's a great feeling as a quarterback when you make that throw, and it keeps your offense on the field, keeps the offense in rhythm. Obviously not as good as throwing a touchdown pass, but I'll tell you this, way better than having to trot off over to the bench and wait for your turn to get another shot.
And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. It's amazing how a play by a defensive end in the backfield can really swing the momentum not only of a series but of a game sometimes.
All you're trying to do is create negative plays to get them.
Hey, you can't buy a block out here. I'll tell you that now. I've had to hit everything quick, fast, and in a fucking hurry.
Up front with the defensive line, because you know once you get one of those plays, you got the offense right.
60 walk right by him.
We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and they'll talk it over to see if they can build on this lead before halftime.
Man, fuck his day up.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. Looking downfield, it's Hawkins. Fires to the wideout.
Sit down. Yes, sir. You gonna get man? I'm gonna get the dog
by the wide receiver on that play, because I'm not sure that route was supposed to be that deep. You got to wonder if the receiver decided maybe to adjust the route a little bit to make sure that he got the first down.
Looking downfield on 1st down.
Hello?
Can't find his man. He took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be 2nd down.
That is just great total defense
What'd you get?
on that play. First off, you get pressure.
Like the pizza today, how about JoJo?
No JoJo. Same on
There's
them.
no way the offense was coming up with a completion
So
on that.
sad.
Scrambling away.
Really wanted JoJo.
JoJo sounds good.
And he just chucks it into the 4th row.
All that dirt around your eyes. How you do that?
You know the game of football, right? When I start to get outside the pocket, I don't see anything there. I can throw the ball away. I don't have to take a sack, get a lost yardage play. I can just throw the ball out of bounds as long as it passes the line of scrimmage. We go on to the next down. No harm, no foul.
Throws to the tight end. And a
Let's
missed
see that.
opportunity on 3rd down as the defense knocks it free, and 4th down is coming up.
Well, this offense has gone his way early and often in this game. They've gotten into a nice rhythm. That time, though, the defense was expecting the throw going his way. They put a really nice hit on him to force the incompletion.
And on 4th down, here comes
get off
the
at
field
11?
goal unit. Never
Oh, good.
They take a 4-point lead.
So I might be up when you're home.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Gentlemen, that pivotal top 15 battle is in the books.
They wanted me to go out to
Here's how
Mud
things
Monday
went
at Barrel House, and I was like,
Ohio
guys.
State looked
No.
dominant in a victory that was never really in question. That offense had zero problem.
Yeah, right by the bar over there, just on the backside of Eagles Club. Really?
Always fun to see two of the game's better teams duke it out at this point of the season. A good barometer, fellas, for both coaches.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. This drive opens up at the 23-yard line. They'll move the wide receiver. To the air, it's Grove.
Got pizza and some drinks
Got
there.
his man on the right.
Yeah, the drinks are good, aren't they?
One tackle and picks up
I
a
like
few.
the drinks there.
Quick tempo, no huddle offense. 2nd down, clock's running.
I enjoy the drinks there a lot.
Might be changing the route.
Where's the X on?
Wants to throw. He's working against the clock. He's looking deep. Pulls it in on the right. Big play for this offense as they get it to
Me
the
too,
32.
for your sake.
There's a timeout on
What
the
time are you
field.
off
Tight
lunch?
game here late in the 1st half. They might be thinking back-to-back big plays after that last one. 1st and 10 from the 32.
Yeah.
Right on the money. Bulldozes his way through. They make the tackle.
Which one are you
He's
at?
got a fresh set of downs, and it's 1st and goal from the 7.
So if you go left and
He
you
looks like
turn
he's in
right
a
at that
rhythm
first
on this
roundabout and go
drive,
down the
right?
road
3
and
for
then
3.
turn
He's
left,
going where he needs to go with the football.
my house
The
is
defense doesn't have any answers for him.
Right.
As an offensive coordinator, I'm letting this guy keep
I
chucking
think
it
I
down here
would
close
like
to
that
the
a
goal
lot,
line.
actually.
They are really clicking along. 1st and goal on just the 4th play of the drive. Thanks looking for the goal line.
I think so too. You should do it.
Into the end zone. Touchdown, ECU.
Man, I just love the execution by this offense. Late in the half, man.
I should be.
You want to get that momentum on your side, and they do. They finish
at
it with
9.
the passing game. I'll tell you what, keep that passing game up, and keep this lead, keep the momentum, and keep the
lunch is usually 6:37, sometimes lower.
And here's the return.
Probably
When
get
I
a little
work like
nap
my
in.
3 to 11.
Not a lot of space to be found.
I might even get a little nap in.
Team, and they stop him at the 21. They come to the line for the first play of the drive, snapping it from the 21.
You gotta put some sunglasses on.
You need to go get some new
Trying to
sunglasses.
go up top.
I don't know where
Unloads to the wideout. On target to the left.
What kind did you have?
36, it will be a first
a
down.
dollar store pair.
We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. They came out humming on this drive, and now it's first down from the 36. Throws to the wideout. He makes a catch. The offense uses a timeout to stop the clock, and they'll get a quick breather.
I tell you, this slot receiver, he really does give his quarterback a nice option. Runs really good routes. He's got nice hands, and you saw it on that last play.
Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Looking downfield, it's Hawkins. Right down the middle. Got his man downfield. Smashes through the tackle. Touchdown, Coastal Carolina. And they take it in for 6 more points.
And that's a great job by this offense. That's how you work the clock. You want to take as much as you can and punch that ball in the end zone. Masterful clock management, and they now take the lead going into the half.
And you just got to wonder, too, David, how does that affect the confidence of the defense, right? They needed to find some way, somehow, to get a stop, limit the damage on that final drive. They give up a touchdown. They're going into halftime now, trailing. They've got to raise their level of play in the second half.
Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Just enough time to get off one final play of the half. Looking to throw on first down. Trying to get behind the defense. It's incomplete, and they tried to finish this quarter with a bang and couldn't quite connect. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. And the Pirates will kick it away to crank up the second half. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Coastal Carolina takes over, and here comes the offense. They got plenty done through the air in the first half, and we'll see if they even need to look for balance as we start the third quarter.
Well, and I think defensively, you understand, like the running game isn't a big part of the plan. I wonder how they adjust and play more coverage to this pass-happy offense.
Yeah, so you're going to have to be ready if you're a quarterback then. You're probably going to see some different coverages. You might see a little bit more blitz in the second half as well, so you have to know where your answers are.
Those are the ones you rewind back on tape over and over again when you watch this tape and you go, how did I miss that? He was so open. You have to hit those plays. There's nothing you can say positive about that.
Moving away from pressure. Got out of trouble and throws. Couldn't quite haul it in. They almost had their first pick here late in the game. And the Chanticleers will call on their punt team. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Fields the punt and looking for daylight. Looking everywhere for room to run, but really good coverage, and he'll step out of bounds. East Carolina has it back, and the Purple Pirate offense will go to work. From the gun, running back on the move.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground, take away that run game, make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
Might be calling a hot route. Looking to throw, it's Grove. Release to the back. Almost had the pick there. Would have been his second of the game. Instead, it brings up third down.
When you talk about versatility at the running back spot, you got to talk about this guy in the conversation. He already has caught a touchdown in this one. They're still trying to throw him the football. That one goes incomplete, but I would keep this up if I'm on offense.
After the second down misfire, looking at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, wants to pass. Quickly out to the tight end. He gets it to the 38-yard line, and they'll pick up a fresh set of downs. The Pirates getting set on 1st and 10. Someone not clear on the snap count. It'll be a false start, and they'll move it back. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Offense getting set for 1st down. Use the play fake. Now to throw. Here's a heat. Inside the 30. And a nice pickup on the run and gets down to avoid contact.
I mean, these quarterbacks nowadays can run so fast. Think about who you've got chasing them. Defensive linemen, those big old defensive tackles, defensive ends, linebackers. They can't catch them because they're faster than them nowadays. So much speed, so much electricity now with these guys.
It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Trying play action. The sweet feet keeping the play alive. Can't make the connection. The pressure there caused the missed timing.
And you've seen this formula work at all levels of football. You pressure the quarterback, his numbers start to drop. He's not as efficient. Nice job by the defense.
Back to throw. It's Crow. Unleashes to the end zone. Right through his hands. He had a touchdown and just didn't look the ball in. It'll be 4th down.
On that 3rd down, they took a shot in the end zone, just couldn't connect. QB and receiver not on the same page, and now it's decision time if you're the head coach on 4th.
4th down and 3, and they'll try to pick it up. The offense changing the play. On 4th down, they'll pass for it. Converts on 4th down, still going. Gets it inside the 5, down to the 4, and it'll be 1st and goal.
Oh, and I love that play call on 4th down. You know, the entire defense was zoning in on that running back, thinking he was maybe going to get a handoff, but they're able to sneak and leak him out of the backfield. Behind the defense, he makes the catch and keeps the drive alive.
He steps and powers and works his way. They finally get him down at the 2.
And down here near the goal line, you've got to be physical. And this guy's proven it today, Palmer. They've given it to him. He's put it in the end zone twice already. I'm going to keep featuring him.
So you know the defense is going to be keying him too, right? Because he's hurting them a little bit in this game already. They're going to be finding a way to try to get some penetration, anticipating this guy to touch it again.
They give him the rock again on 2nd and goal. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
And with the stuff there, Jesse, on 2nd down, this little 3rd to mid-range, you got 2 downs. What are you thinking here?
Maybe getting your quarterback out on the perimeter and giving him a run-pass option. See if you can get the defense in a bind.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Bringing the heat. They get to him as he throws.
And look at the quarterback, look at the players on offense. They're overlooking at the sidelines, begging to stay on the field and try and score this touchdown. They've been on the field for so many plays, for so long. When you've done all that work, you want to capitalize and you want to score a touchdown. You don't want to be kicking a field goal at this point.
Looks as if they'll send out the field goal unit. Good, right down the boulevard. brings them to within 1. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
All right, guys, got a final score on one of the more intriguing games this week. Northwestern was able to come away with the win, as they have in Evanston so many times before, but not without a few bumps along the way. Man, nothing in college football is easy. Regardless the outcome today, guys, these are still two quality programs. Proof the sport is as healthy as ever.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there. Kevin, thanks for the update. Wide open downfield. There he goes. And he's to the 48-yard line. That'll be good enough for a first down.
He's been a matchup problem all season long. Defenses just don't know how to solve the puzzle. And with that last catch, over 500 yards receiving now on the year for him.
And he's very fortunate to get it back to the line of scrimmage, greeted by a sea of defenders. What will they dial up on second, and a long way to go? Dropping back, it's Hawkins. Looking to the big tight end. Just a bit of a misfire there as they can't make the connection.
And listen, as a quarterback, you're trying to find the matchup, trying to find who's open. I don't know if anybody was open, but that was not a greatly thrown football. I don't know if it was miscommunication, but the ball thrown out of bounds, and just on to the next down.
Fires to the wideout. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. He'll try to take it back. He'll be stopped, but not before getting the football and picking up big yardage on the return. What a play there. East Carolina sending the offense back to work. Always good to get points on a drive, David, but chip shot field goals can leave you a little empty.
And I think it's great to get points, but the great teams get touchdowns in the red area. You got to get out there this time and execute a little better on this drive.
You're absolutely right, David. And generally, the best red zone offenses are the ones that run the ball the best. So let's see if they can be a little bit more physical on this drive.
He might want another play.
Let's go! Let's go!
Wide receiver comes in motion. He wants to throw it. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive. Never really got that return cranking, but the offense is set up at the 30.
How do you not get excited and out of your seat when you see the big boys making the little boys play? Listen, I know you DBs can do all that running around stuff and catch the football. I can too. I just do it in a sexier, bigger body. Yes, please.
To the air, it's Hawkins. Finds the tight end. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they have a first down at the 43. And this dude is doing work. He's now over 150 yards receiving, Jesse.
He's like the new age tight end, isn't he, Reese? I mean, he's a guy that can get in a three-point stance. He can flex out. He can play the split end position. He can play receiver. There is nothing this tight end cannot do in the pass game.
I wonder a lot of times why teams don't run this route more often. It's an impossible matchup for the defense.
Yeah, linebacker on running back. I'm going to lose that matchup a lot, but a nice job by the running back selling to the flats just enough to get that inside space to open up, make the catch, and start getting down the field.
And he's left with no option. He just threw it away.
Like the job by the defense there in coverage. They took every option away from the quarterback. He was outside of the pocket, nowhere to go with it, so they forced the incompletion throwaway.
Unloads to the wideout. Can't quite make the connection there. Might have let him a little too much.
And that's one the offense just needs to be able to hit, right? That's a completion they should be able to hit in their sleep. Receivers got to do a better job.
Plenty of time for one more snap before the end of the quarter. On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Misses again. It's incomplete, and that's 3 in a row.
This really has been a Jekyll and Hyde story for this quarterback. His last game out, he completed over 80% of his throws, but things just not going his way in this one. You've got to give the defense a ton of credit.
Excellent coverage and tackle that time, and that's how the third quarter comes to a close. That's the end of the period, and Coastal Carolina has the lead. And sitting in a good spot as we wrap up the third. Let's take a look at our game stats while we have a break in the action. They go back to work in the final period of this one. Wants to adjust the pattern. Back to pass, it's Grove. Throws to the wideout. Finds space on the right. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down.
Man, this is where you really hang your hat on your defense. You got a lead late in the game. Offense just punted because they trust you. They can put you out there to get a stop. When you have the lead, get the ball back to the offense. Let's see if this defense can come up clutch.
Wants to throw on first down. Here's the pressure. And he throws another interception, his third of the night. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back.
And some defensive backs just have a way of finding the football, and he's starting to develop that. His third interception on the season, just has a good feel for playing that spot in the back end.
Coastal Carolina has it. The Chanticleer offense headed back to the field. He leaves it with the back. Powers through the defender. He'll pick up a few before being knocked out of bounds at the 31.
Defensively, with all the space now and spread football, there's so many opportunities where it's one-on-one tackling, and it's really hard to do. It's hard to get guys to the ground that are so talented. That's why defenses have to swarm to the football, get multiple guys there. That's your best chance to not have broken tackles.
He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line.
So difficult because my eyes tell me as a defensive guy, he's handing it off. The offensive line's blocking run. I got to go get it. Quarterback pulls it, throws it to the right. It's kind of like that hidden hat game. Like, where's the ball? I'm always trying to find that daggone thing.
Got the big tight end on the corner route. He stopped just a chain link or two away from the first down and sets them up beautifully here. They'll try the run. Can't quite cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the first down.
Really impressed with the running back. His stats haven't been great, right? Every yard has been hard to come by, but these are some of the best runs we've seen in the game by him, and it's happening at the most important time here in the fourth quarter.
Motion from the wide receiver. They'll dial up the run on first and goal. And they get nothing. The ball remains at the 2-yard line.
Well, and you see the sense of urgency now going up, right, David, on defense here, creating a negative play with their backs up against the wall.
Everybody's selling out to stop the run. Nice job being aggressive by this defense.
Slams ahead. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain.
Well, after talking to him this week, I know this guy was excited to build off the momentum from last week when he scored 2 touchdowns. You could just see him here close to the end zone. He's trying to snip his way in. He's so good at finding the creases when they get down tight to the goal line.
Defense going all in to stop the run. He'll sneak it. They will stop him short, and the defense trying to keep him alive.
And when you call the quarterback sneak, you're thinking, I'm going to fall forward and get at least a yard. But, Palmer, that defensive line got in there, and the QB got nothing.
Well, he's got to do a better job with the snap count, too, and try to catch the defense when they're napping, right?
Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, shot to clear.
I think most coaches on 4th and goal from the 1-yard line nowadays, they're going for it. And I like this offense.
It's a fake, and the kicker's going to throw it. Incomplete. He had to get rid of it before he wanted to. The defense put the heat on. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. The returner's going to try to see what he can get.
Hit them.
He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found.
Defense started defense in this bit.
East Carolina has it back, and the Purple Pirate offense will go to work. After throwing the pick on the last drive, need to take care of the ball this time, Jesse.
We're going to find out a lot about this quarterback right here, too. How does he fight
Here's
through adversity
ACL.
last drive?
Yeah, clear the mechanism, move on. That's a part of it.
We're gonna go get him bad.
All
Alright, we are. Let's do it.
And move on.
I don't think he'll hit
They'll
me for
start
something
this
crazy.
one from the 29 on first
Better
down.
block that fucking running back.
Scanning the field, it's Grove.
It's a
Just
fucking
hair too much on him for this big-arm sophomore quarterback.
Just didn't seem like the quarterback and his intended target were on the same page there.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down.
It's fake.
Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air.
You didn't know what to do. I picked that
And
up
here
beautifully.
comes the heat, and they get
Beautifully.
home, and they get him at the 21. Just a great job defensively, making him go through his progressions, and he really didn't have time to do it.
And that's exactly what you do in zone coverage. You drop in your spots, you read the quarterback's eyes, make sure you take away that quick stuff, and a great job rushing the passer and getting the sack.
Now third and long, and trying to play catch-up in more ways than one after that earlier sack.
Wait.
Oh, they're after him.
Yeah, we'll
And
take
he
that.
couldn't
We're gonna run the
find
same
quite
play.
enough
Let's go and get him back there
running
about
room to reach the
25
line to
yards.
gain.
Really good job by this defense. Third
No,
down,
about 20.
understanding,
I want him back
taking away
there
the
on the
pass
damn
first. But I
stick.
got to react, man. When these QBs take off, I got to stick my foot in the ground. Stop playing pass. Come up and get him on the ground. Big third down stop.
It's a one-score game late, and they've got to go for it on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down.
You gotta go get that, though. He ain't gonna get that.
Really good job.
Stop the fucking cap.
They
But he
chunk
rolled
of
3
yardage and
yards.
Get it out to the 39-yard line.
Wow, and that was just a bang-bang play. On that fourth down, the coverage was tight. QB had his receiver. He knew where he wanted to go with it, but the only way that ball gets completed is if he puts a
I
little
won the
extra
challenge, he
mustard
kept
on
the
it,
first
and he
down.
showed you the arm talent on the throw.
I won the challenge and he kept the first down.
In search of that tying touchdown. They've moved the chains a couple of times. It's 1st and 10 again. To the air on first down. On the move, he fired.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Just too much juice on that one as he airmails his receiver.
This dude ain't
out
got
of
the
bounds.
fucking stone to play with me
The
right
quarterback
now.
off target on that one. And in this 2-minute situation, you've got to be able to call and run passing plays that you feel like you can run in your sleep.
Quarterback making checks. Looking to pass. It's Grove.
God,
He's open on the right. They'll get him stopped at the
He's gonna run
45, but it's
like
a
a
big
fit.
15-yard pickup and a first down. From the gun, leaves it on the inside with the back. Got enough for the first down and wants more. What a play there, and he rips off a big one all the way to the 16-yard line.
I love the play call by the
Still didn't
offense here
pick my
running the
flag.
ball. The score is what it is right now. You don't have to panic. You don't have to throw it every single down. You don't have to go up tempo. Just run your stuff. Be balanced. Run the football. Make sure this defense stays honest.
He'll get that one all the way down to the 4-yard line before he stopped. And guys, if they can somehow, some way find their way into the end zone, we'll have a tie game in the fourth. Let's it go to the end zone. For the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. He managed a few yards on that return, but the bigger play was the fact that they forced the turnover. They are pinned deep in their own territory. They'll snap it from their own 4 to start the drive. The give from the gun.
Okay, you gotta call it down now, bro.
Shotgun run, and they were lucky to get it back up to the 3.
These boys come off that edge so fast. It's actually pretty goddamn embarrassing how fast they're coming off the edge.
Working well behind the sticks on second down.
He just completely fucking misses. I have him checked as well.
Just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
Gotta hit something.
Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. Backing up and backing up on the first 2 plays now to try to throw it in drive on 3rd down. From his end zone, he'll have to get rid of it. Throws for the tight end. Finds a man on the right. He'll make a play on 3rd down. He's got enough for the first as they mark it at the 32.
Gutsy play call. There are a lot of coaches out there that would have run the football, try to keep the clock going, or force your opponent to use more timeouts. They throw for it on 3rd down. They get the completion, and with that, they should win this game.
And the quarterback's just going to take a knee. After not really playing their best earlier this season, people said, this team is bad. Now they won 3 in a row. This team is good. People are fickle.
Yeah, and we're probably the ones who were saying that a little bit, Reese, because they were struggling. It didn't look like they knew who they were, and they didn't